bowl season is here. Moving on to Wednesday night, the Holiday Bowl. We've got Oregon taking on North Carolina. Seeing the Ducks is a 14-point favorite in this spot, down a little bit from 14.5. This total is rising. It's currently sitting at 74.5. And as I'm recording, seeing some 75s as well. Quite frankly, this might be the biggest mismatch that we see all bowl season. And that is Oregon's offense going up against North Carolina's defense. So my play in this game is Oregon team total over 44. I locked that in here on Monday morning. Total has actually risen a little bit since I locked in that play, but you can still get 44.5. Obviously, still feel very good about anything at or under 45. This North Carolina defense is terrible. Their last 3 games, they're on a 3-game losing streak. Let's not forget. Who's beaten them? Georgia Tech beat them with their 3rd-string quarterback. North Carolina State beat them with their 4th-string quarterback. And then in that ACC title game, Cade Klubnik, who had virtually no experience throwing the ball all year, threw all over that North Carolina secondary. So this is a bad unit. It's been a bad unit all year. You're not going to see it week to week playing in the ACC because there's just so many bad offenses like Virginia Tech and Virginia and, to a certain degree, Miami, although they threw for 500 yards against this unit. But, here in this matchup, Oregon's going to get whatever they want. Bo Nix had a terrific year, 9-yard per attempt guy. He's mobile, as we know. But really where Oregon and their success offensively starts and ends is on their offensive line. They allowed just 4 sacks all year. 12 games, 4 sacks. That is elite offensive line play. They probably got a top 5 offensive line in the country. They got 3 separate runners, including Nix, and then their top 2 backs who are over 6 yards per carry this year. And then with what Nix has proven to be able to do in the passing game, where is North Carolina going to get stops in this matchup? I will concede they have gotten better in their run defense throughout the year, but how much of that should be credited to going up against the Georgia Tech running backs and going up against the Virginia Tech running backs? Miami sucks at running back. North Carolina State's not very good at that position. You're going up against some explosive runners here with their secondary in mind. Perhaps their biggest weakness this year has been getting pressure on the quarterback. So going up against a top 5 offensive line in college football, definitely the best O-line you faced all year. With how multiple Oregon is, the pace will be on our side in this matchup. Both of these teams like to use tempo to their advantage. I just don't see the path to stops for the Tar Heels in this game. Even if you're considering that their run defense has improved throughout the course of the season, how is that going to translate against probably the most explosive set of backs they've faced all year? Because we know they're not stopping anybody through the air, and we know they're not winning up front. So I did feel comfortable playing the Oregon team total in this matchup. I will say I would lean towards Oregon on the side as well. The one thing keeping me off of that is I would be fading North Carolina because of that defense. Drake May is a great quarterback. Now, I will say he is kind of a one-man team right now because he lost his leading receiver, and Josh Downs. He opted out of this game. North Carolina hasn't run the ball well all year. Drake May is actually their leading rusher, and they too were absolutely atrocious on their offensive line. So he is kind of a one-man team at this point. But, if there's a guy that could probably carry that load, Drake May has the ability to do that. I don't love this Oregon defense per se. I think May can probably extend plays with his legs. And obviously, he's had a great year through the air. So I'm not fading North Carolina because of their offense. It's really all their defense. I'll say it again. Probably the biggest mismatch on the board all bowl season is this Oregon offense going up against North Carolina's defense. I'm not missing the opportunity to play this. Oregon team total over 44 is an official one-unit play for me.